Raider personnel.
Raiders. In your heart, in your eyes, and everybody you love hard. Raiders.
Raider personnel here, everybody. Ready to talk about these free agents, man. In the offseason, we got potential free agent quarterbacks that we need to find and kind of bridge the gap here between the guy we're going to draft potentially, or we're going to stick with Aaron Rodgers and not Aaron Rodgers, sorry, but
signed. Breaking news. Signed. You hear it first.
Cool. Not Aaron Rodgers. Right. Aiden O'Connell.
No, Aiden AOC.
So Sam Darnold, man, is still out there. I guess Vikings haven't found a way to sign him in, or don't want to buy their time to do so. But it looks like a lot of signs point to Sam Darnold going back to the Vikings, right? Chris Carter mentioned the other day that they should franchise tag the guy for 40 mil, right? So, but what are your thoughts on Sam?
Look, the last two games is very scary because, it was more of like, the system carried him, but when it was time for him to show him, hey, we need to put the game on your shoulders, he buckled. So, I would do it. If he wants to take a really good pay cut for 2 years, I'll do that. Because you can always cut him in the final year and all that good stuff. You can always play with the cap. But if he wants a big time contract with big time money, I would franchise tag him. I don't know what the Vikings cap situation is right now, but I definitely didn't see them in the top 3, or top 5 when they did the cap count. So it's really up to them. It's also how they feel about JJ McCarthy. He was injured, so they couldn't really see too much from him in the practice because it was a torn ACL. So he spent most of the season while they were practicing. He spent it on, working out and, strengthening his leg again and everything. So at least if he was on the bench as a backup, he would have been on the practice squad. He would have been taking the second team reps and everything like that. So he would have got something. So if they don't feel comfortable with how they think he is, franchise tag him. It's tough because it's that 40 plus cap just hits automatically. There's no room to play with in there. It's a full 45 or 40 plus. And then, so that pretty much takes care of your other, free agents because, it's not the only one. I know they got most of the people back, but I think they still have some pretty decent free agents. Byron Murphy Jr., the one of them, the corner, he's another potential. Corners are very well needed in the league. So you need 2 or 3 good ones on your team. So, that could be the situation right there. Or if they do feel lucky with McCarthy, or, what if they go the Aaron Rodgers route because Aaron Rodgers would be cheaper. It's so funny because if that happens, it'll be just like Brett Favre. Packers to Jets, then Jets to Vikings.
That would be hilarious.
So that would be hilarious, but he wouldn't be expensive. He would only be for a year.
Yeah.
Maybe you can get Rodgers for 30, 35 mil. He's going to get that money just because of the quarterback he is. And then they just let Darnold go. And then that's not also a bad route because you get to see what Rodgers has. And then if he really is wash, McCarthy just takes over and you just go with that. But that's one situation that I see happening if they don't want him that.
It really does come down to the money, right? They're taking their time because they're looking at all those players they got to fill in. It looks like a lot.
That's the most expensive cap hit out of all the positions.
Right.
So that that's a big commitment. It's a big commitment.
Team cap space is at 63 mil, right? Just a little
so you minus 40.
Yeah.
You're at 20. So 25 was it? Yeah. So look, we talked about our free agents, they're at least in the 5-6 plus mil.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If you take 5 mil, you're already down to 20 mil. Now you're kind of screwed. Now you got to fill up with minimums. So that's the tough one. That's a tough one. Byron Murphy, that's a corner. He's probably going to get 10, 11 mil. You take that off on top, you're already pretty much almost at the cap. So
it looks
tough.
Like corners are definitely one of those positions this year that are definitely crucial, if you could say. Because look at Trayvon, right? He can be franchised at 20 mil. And the Raiders the same thing. They're taking a sweet time to do that, but the defense right now. It seems like it's Trey Smith, right? He's out there. He's another player that the Raiders might be eyeing. And he's gonna get his money. He's gonna get paid. And
he's gonna get 20
the Bears
plus,
are looking at him
at least.
Yeah.
The Bears. News from the Cowboys. They lost their guard, retired. So that's another team that's going to be in the market. That's a team that has Super Bowl, in mind. So they have to go spend the money. They can't have a weakness on that line. So they would have to go out there and at least get something. So that's another one. That's another one that we would have to pay. And like I said, we had 95 mil. You take off 22 million. They say 25 million because it becomes a betting war. Now we're down to what 70, something like that, and then we still got to re-sign Max. So it's like, we're going to be on there. And then if we have to franchise tag, restructure. And if we have to franchise tag Trayvon, man, that's another 20 mil. So we're right back down. But the benefits is that, we'll get 3 players out of, what the Vikings will get for just Sam Darnold.
For Sam Darnold, exactly. And that's exactly the point. I don't want to do that. I don't want to put all this money into a quarterback that, once you get to the playoffs, you're going to be, biting your nails? I mean, if he ran that program and the system is what got him there, in the last 2 games, like you mentioned before, is that, that's when you know what makes a good quarterback is that he can jump off the system, get off the crutch, if you will, and take it from there, right? So, I don't think he's worth the money.
No, it's not. And to give credit to the other teams that he played, the Lions was one of the teams that he lost to, and they were fighting for first place. They had like A+ offense. They were rolling, and then they just happened to hit the Rams in the playoffs. And at that time, the Rams was the hottest team. They were beating everybody.
Yeah.
Their defense was playing really good. So it's not like it was, they got lost to some washed teams. Like these were like top of the top teams that had something to fight for, one for first, one for playoff. So, but still, he still crumbled. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what are the defense? Like if we think about our side, the Chiefs defense still A+. Ravens defense still A+. Steelers defense A+.
Right.
We're going to run into some really good teams. The Buffalo Bills this year was supposed to be the rebuild because they got rid of like 11 players on defense. And look what they did. So now they have money. So now they're going to go regenerate. They already see they don't need to put too much resources in the offense. They have to resource the defense. So, we got to have a quarterback that has those icy veins and they can like read plays and, make quick decisions, and see the things happening before. And so, like, will he do that? Will he crumble? We also, and I know about Aaron Rodgers as well. Like Aaron Rodgers has,
I was just going to say, you mentioned ice in his veins and, quick throw or quick get off the ball. Yeah. That sounds like Aaron Rodgers, man. That sounds like he might just fit that role. But I don't want that toxic Aaron Rodgers. I want the Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. Before the Super Bowl, as he was learning.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And it's like, if we do get him, is he going to like force us to bring the players that he knows? Because that's the problem. Is like he only throws it to the people he knows. And it's like, I'm not trying to have Brock Bowers take a step back. I'm not trying to. I mean, we're definitely not getting Devontae Adams. We're not getting. But I don't want to be getting Randall Cobb or trade for one of the receivers that the Jets paid for. Like, no. Like, if you're going to come to this team, you better come to practice. You better come to OTAs. You better come to everything. And I need, Pete needs to go and talk to him, like, and Spytek, like, if you want to join this team, 100% in. I don't want you to be like, I'm at Egypt and I'm going to miss an OTA, like, 100% in. And if you don't like that, put in this contract where we could release him with no, loss of penalty. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it has to be like that. And, it would be great because the type of offense that Chip Kelly runs, from what I've been seeing, it's about, quick decisions, hit them before they're ready, like right before they're supposed to be open, bam, you're tossing it where it needs to be, quick slants inside, get the ball out. That's everything that Aaron Rodgers likes, very accurate passes.
Okay.
So it's the kind of offense that he should thrive in. But the luggage that he brings matters a lot. And
Teddy
our
Bruschi,
thing is about culture, man.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Culture.
And that, you're right. You're 100%. And Teddy Bruschi mentioned in his panel on, I think it was ESPN, is that, he doesn't want to go out like this. he doesn't, he doesn't want to end his career on this bad taste, bro. So I'm hoping that he gets his shit together, and if he does come to the Raiders, he gets rid of that bullshit expectation or whatever high horse he's sitting on, and just join the club, man, and get a part of that team, and let Max still lead. You know what I mean? He's gonna be the star.
It's kinda,
and you just play that Flacco role.
Yep, exactly, yeah. Because he's still, man. If you look at his stats, it's surprising because they played so bad. But if you look at his stats, it's still a top 20 quarterback, like even close to 15. So it's like, okay, what if we get solid pieces? And I'm not saying that Jets didn't have solid. Jets had a great team. They had, solid. I will say the defense crumbled a little whenever Saleh left. So that tells you, Saleh definitely had his footprint on the defense. But they had Garrett Wilson. They had Bryce Hall, the running back. They had Devontae Adams. They had offensive line pieces. So it's like, they had a great team. It's I think it's like the same amount of wins that the last guy did for them last season. So it's like there was no improvement. No. It was Sam Darnold before that. But
no, because the year before, I know that Rodgers,
I forgot
had the Achilles there, and then there was someone new. I forgot during that time, but
I forgot his name. He was there. He was their rookie.
It's funny.
Yeah, because it was Sam, and then Zach Wilson. Oh, that's who it was. Yeah, Zach Wilson, and then he tried to give him praise, like, oh, he's a good quarterback when Zach Wilson was covering for him, and it just and he still got the same records and same stats as Rodgers this year. So it's like the only difference is you paid Rodgers $50 million.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Just giving away money, bro. The Jets, that's all they do.
Right. Exactly. Just giving away money. Yeah.
I'd say I'd welcome that. I welcome if Rodgers comes and he's ready. His mindset is differently, and he's not going to cause this ruckus in the locker room.
Right.
Okay. Fine. But he has to know his role. He has to be the guy who's going to be teaching Shador or Jackson Dart or whoever the hell we draft. As quarterback. So that's the role he should be playing, and that's the way. Matt Stafford. Now go to Matt Stafford. Forget Rodgers. I'm tired of talking to that fucker.
Now, Matt Stafford.
What do you think? They haven't signed him either. I know he's taking a pay cut.
Matt Stafford would have to be a trade, but I would take. So Rodgers would be the best quarterback that's available. If Stafford really, truly is available, doesn't matter how old he is, Stafford is the better quarterback. He showed it whenever he came back from injuries that he still had it in him. And that would be a great pickup for them. That would be like awesome. Like what we have to give up, I don't know. I definitely don't want to be giving up no first round picks or anything like that.
Yeah, this year,
but if we can get him for like a second or third with like like if we make it to the playoffs, it turns to a second deal. Then I'll be down for that because he's still a really good quarterback.
Most definitely.
But I love that. Depending on what it costs, we have the cap space to take the hit. And then everybody would be excited. Brock Bowers, first of all, is going to have an elite quarterback. Jacoby Meyers is going to be like, okay, it was just like when I had Tom Brady. Tom Brady, veteran quarterback. He knows what it is, what a quarterback at that age would need to succeed. And Super Bowl winning quarterback. Yeah, like Aaron Rodgers won the Super Bowl, but that was a long time ago. And Stafford's done it more recently. And Stafford is loved in the locker room. He's not a team killer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he did really good with the Lions, went to the Rams, won the Super Bowl, kept them in the playoffs. They're the scariest team to play this season. Right. So, I would take that in a heartbeat. I'll take Stafford over any one of them. It'll be Stafford and then Rodgers if Stafford is not available. And then other than that, it'd probably be Cousins, Flacco, and Winston. I like Jameis Winston's character, but I don't think that's what we need right now.
Well, the Browns are gonna keep him from what I'm hearing, and that
they should.
That they also expect him to kind of like school Sanders, and it's so the rumor from their side is that Sanders is expected as well. They're going to draft a quarterback. But Yeah, that it could be Cam if Tennessee chooses to go with their defensive
Abdul
tackle, right?
Carter, or
Yeah, one of
or
those.
that's true because I also heard they might go after the tackle too, Mason Graham as
Right,
a number one pick. I'm like,
right.
man,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. So it's a funny
all
draft.
right,
I mean, those are mock drafts, right? So
yeah,
these aren't official. These are just
right,
mock drafts.
exactly,
So, but if that's the case, man, you know what I mean. We might just end up with Cam and
yeah,
Browns with Sanders. But that Sanders wants to be a Raider, and that's
no,
not
for sure,
that's a known
that's
secret.
for sure. Oh
So
yeah, that's for sure. He wants to be a Raider, and I mean, we definitely need a quarterback, but
yeah.
I mean, there's options. I mean, people are even talking about that Jackson Dart might go number 7, um,
Oh wow. Okay.
to the Jets. You know, like it's gonna be like the dude from
Yeah.
the Broncos.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Bo
Their
Nix.
quarterback. Yeah, Bo Nix. Like kind of Bo
Yeah.
Nix was
Yeah.
supposed to be a second or third, and ended up being
And
like a top one. So
yeah.
you never know what happens. Dart,
Right.
Milrow, and I don't know who else is going to go up that high, but there's that possibility. And I mean, like you said, if the Browns do get Sanders,
Yeah.
the Giants will definitely get Cam Ward if the Titans don't get him. So
Shit.
the only way I see the Giants not getting a quarterback is if Sanders is there. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they want that.
Yeah.
Um, but if they both go 1 and 2, then yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, I still
It's
think we'll get a great pick out of it. I think we'll get T Mac from Arizona, the
right.
receiver,
Right. 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 Right.
or we'll get Travis Hunter or Abdul
Yeah.
Carter or
Not
Mason Graham.
no Ashton
So
Genty, huh? No, that doesn't even
yeah,
turn around, huh?
nah,
You
nah,
don't want the
nah,
running back, huh?
nah. No, man, this is a strong running back draft.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
think we can get a really good one in the third round. Like, we don't even
I
have to
see.
use one in the second.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And the same thing with corner. This is supposed to be like a really strong corner class. So that's why I was like, I
Yep.
wouldn't be mad if we miss out on Will
Mm-hmm.
and Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Um, because if we're trying to, I mean, look, I like Travis Hunter, but playing in the NFL is different from playing with college kids. Like
Yeah.
these are
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
monsters hitting you. You know what I'm saying? Like you're a
Yeah.
corner trying to tackle a running back. You're a receiver getting hit by a safety or a
Yeah.
linebacker.
I don't see that
Like,
either. There's no.
yeah, like I'll
There's
see him.
no playing both sides. I don't see that at
Yeah.
all.
Like the only people have done it with like I don't know if you remember when the Patriots had Deion Branch. He was their receiver, and so they had him playing corner too. But it
Okay.
wasn't like Travis Hunter, like every play. He was out
Yeah.
there for like dime
Yeah.
packages, like he was like the fourth
Right.
corner,
Certain
or
schemes. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, or like high level situations he'll be in as a number 3 because he was like, okay, I'm a receiver, I got
Yeah.
hands, zone. All I gotta do is wait for the ball, watch it, and react and catch it. So he can be used. You just have to pick one as his main one. Like
Yeah.
I would probably pick him as a corner and use him as a third, slot receiver. You know,
Right.
that's how I would use him. But if we just want like a full on receiver and you don't
Yeah.
want to go with like trying to argue with him about playing both sides, I'll go T Mac. If you want a full
Right.
corner, you don't want to argue with him doing both sides, and you go with Will. So,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
one of these other guys in the later rounds.
Yeah,
So
no, T Mac is probably the best bet, man, in the
yeah,
first round if we don't get these quarterbacks. But we
yeah,
have to get a quarterback.
we have to get a quarterback.
It's
Yeah,
a must need, man. There's no other
hmm
way about it. I mean, yeah, you can go free agency next year, but then that
even
means
then, yeah.
we're gonna
But
have to
who
sell
else
the
is gonna need
AOC.
one? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, exactly. And what if the Browns don't get one this year? So let's say the Titans do get Ward or Sanders, and the Giants get the other one. Then the Cleveland Browns next year are going to be looking for a quarterback. All the other people
yeah,
who missed out this year are looking for the
yeah,
quarterbacks.
yeah.
So
No,
new,
it's a never ending
yeah,
chasing your tail kind of situation. So
exactly,
it sucks.
exactly,
It
exactly.
sucks.
So
We missed out last year. I think last year was definitely crucial, but the only two that I mean, almost all those quarterbacks have really panned out, right?
yeah,
New England, freaking
the Commanders.
the Commanders, of course, and
Yeah,
then the
the
Bears. That's what I was thinking
Falcons
of.
with Michael Penix, yeah,
Yeah, the
and
Falcons.
and a lot of it is situation. Like Bo Nix, I don't think that Bo Nix would be that quarterback if it wasn't for Peyton.
Sean,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
Sean
saying?
Payton.
Sean
Yeah,
Payton, because he's had that experience. He's had that where he had to run an offense for that type of quarterback.
I say,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like Andy Reid has always had like a quarterback like Mahomes. Dual threat, mostly throwing. He had
yeah,
McNabb. Alex Smith, it was the same way. He's a thrower first, but he'll run. So,
yes,
he
sir.
always had that type of quarterback. So the system matters. Michael Penix, it just happens to hit good, the Falcons. But at the same time, he came in the last few weeks is like, there's no tape. He's kind of just
Yeah,
playing free. Now he has to go through the work. He has to go through the work as the starter. That's where we're going to really get a see of how he is. And but yeah, the top three picks are for sure. Caleb Williams, yeah, he had a bad year, but that dude's talented. And
yeah,
I think
exactly.
with Ben Johnson, he's going to do some things. I think they're going to be really good. Jaden Daniels, I mean, whatever he did, he speaks for himself. Like there is nothing we don't need to say about
Yeah,
Jaden Daniels. Like he
yeah.
is the man right now.
And
And
if
then
they
the
give him a
Patriots,
receiver, he's gonna be
yeah,
deadlier, dude.
might
Yeah,
be Debo Samuel. The Niners are
yeah.
looking to
Oh yeah,
trade,
that's
so it
right.
might be
Yep,
him.
yep,
Yeah.
yep. That's right.
So, and then the Patriots got their guy, and yeah, their Patriots had the bad record, but it wasn't because of him. He literally has no talent around him, and he still played really good. He's got a canning. They really like him, so they
Yeah,
really hit, and we just got to see with the other guys. But I mean, look, it's not always a number one pick or a first round quarterback that ends up being really good. So
right.
you never know. You never know who pulls up.
You never
AOC
know.
started
Yeah,
playing better. But then he also had setbacks. But give him a
yeah.
full offseason, give him the starting role,
Give him
see
the
what
start
happens.
exactly.
If we don't get like any of these other guys that we're talking about, if we're going
Yeah,
to go
no.
with him, then yeah,
He has an arm. He's just not
yeah,
mobile, right? He has an
yeah,
arm. He makes good decisions, I think.
hmm
He overthrew a couple players here and there, but
yeah,
I mean, he get us to the red zone, and then if you
yeah,
add T Mac in there in the red zone, boom,
yeah,
you know what I mean? He's the guy, right? He's supposed to be the
yeah,
guy that's supposed to be there for those
exactly.
kinds of situations.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, and then look at
that's what it comes down to.
yeah, and look, AOC had Chip Kelly as
Yeah,
his. I mean, not Chip Kelly had the last guy that we
Luke
had.
Getzey, yeah,
Yeah, Luke
yeah, and
Getzey,
then
and then look,
Scott,
And Scott Turner did a good job, but Scott Turner was just barely starting. We
right,
actually got somebody that can make a game plan, that could
right,
coordinate a game plan, a
right,
passing game. So maybe that works a little bit better for us, or for
yeah,
AOC, and that puts them in a different mindset.
yeah, exactly.
So yeah,
Exactly.
let's see how it
The
goes.
same thing that happened
Stafford is the way.
going back to yeah, no, for sure. But that would be
Yeah,
nice. But going
yeah,
back to the Vikings is the system. The system helped out
yeah,
Sam and
yeah.
made Sam look the way he did throughout the season. So if Chip Kelly
Oh
can
yeah.
create the same for AOC, well, you know what I
Mhm.
mean, we can shut everybody up. You know what I mean? For
Right.
about a year.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
hopefully.
We just
And
need them.
hopefully.
We just need them to win games. So Max Crosby is happy. So we get
Yeah.
the real quarterback in, and we're booming. Because the way Max
Exactly.
Crosby plays, he ain't gonna be playing till like his late 30s. That man
Yeah.
plays way too hard. He's like JJ Watt, man. Like JJ
Right.
Watt couldn't play forever.
Yeah.
He couldn't make it to like these other
Because it was
guys.
just he brought it 100% every time. Exactly.
Yeah,
And
every
Max is the
time.
same way,
Yeah,
man.
so Max is exactly the same way.
Motor
So,
Max. Yeah.
yep. So yeah, exactly. So we have to take advantage of that type of player, because
Yeah.
then it's a bad thing. The rest of the team's like, man, Max be giving 1,000%, and we suck. And look at his career now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He's lucky he gets to play in like the second highest paid position, in the NFL.
Yeah.
So he's got his money, and
Well,
he's not in
there's
California
no
no more. So he's
doubt.
Vegas.
Yeah, there's no doubt that
Mhm.
if he doesn't see another winning season, he's gonna ask for a trade or
Yeah,
I mean, just find a way to bail the hell out.
it's
So
tough, man. Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
it,
because
it,
he's
it
never
would suck
asked to
to see
leave.
his career, dissipate in a fashion that the Raiders can't support and they can't make him a champion. So that would just suck. That would
Exactly.
just suck.
Yeah, exactly. For some of that type of player, you always want to see those type of players get it.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so
So
gotta
yeah,
keep the squad, man.
leave a comment, like and subscribe. Let us
Rate
know
us.
what you think. What free agent do you want to be a part
What
of
draft pick do
this?
you want? What quarterback would you like?
We know what draft pick we want. We want Sanders over here.
I definitely want Sanders for sure. But if there's no Sanders, who do you want? Rate us. Raider
Raider personnel.
Raiders.